Hello everyone. It's me, that divination witch. I hope you're doing well. I'm back with another witchy video, here to answer one of your guys' questions. It was a pretty good question that I think is going to help a lot of people actually, and this is my take on things. So, this person asked me, how do I control my spiritual energy? And I think what they mean is, how do you cope? How do you cope every day with being spiritual and living your life, and how do you not get overwhelmed with it? So I'll answer as best as I can. So yes, let's get into it. Now, if you don't know who I am, if you're new here, my name's Sarah. I'm that divination witch, and this is a witchy safe space I've set up so people can ask questions, we help each other out, and I just try and be as down to earth with everything as possible. So I hope you stick around. If you like that, please subscribe. I've also got a link tree below if you were interested in getting a reading from me. I've got a shop and a Patreon where I offer readings. So if you want to check it out, I'd be grateful. Thank you. How do I control my spiritual energy? Well, it's not something that comes easy. I hate to burst your bubble. It's not. But over time, it's something that you become more familiar with doing and more familiar with in general. Once you are opening up spiritually, you start to notice things that were always there, but because you had, I call it your muggle mindset on, your normal mindset where you were just living your life blind sort of thing, you didn't notice. Now, spirits are all around us. Energy is all around us constantly. There are things that happen that we cannot see, and even I can't see, even though I have opened up. You don't get to see everything. We're still muggles, we're still human beings living a physical life, physical experience, very much 3D. So there's a lot that we don't see, we don't sense, we don't know is happening, but it's happening all around us constantly. Everything and everyone has energy, from your plants and your trees and your animals, to the wind, to the sea, to the little puddles when it rains. Everything gives off an energy. Even man-made things give off an energy. Even this video is probably giving off an energy to you, even though I'm not meaning to. My current mood may radiate through the colour of this light, the colour of my makeup and things like this. We all emanate energy. Even just me as a person, I might be someone you're drawn to, but I also might be someone you're like, oh, she's annoying. We all have that. Because it's within us, it's within our nervous system, it's within who we are as beings. They do say that we don't use most of our brain. Matilda, which I know it's a kid's movie and book, but that was written and founded on that belief that we have power and things and potential within us that we haven't even tapped into. And science doesn't know how to explain it. I've said before on this channel, I've got videos about what magic is. Well, magic is energy. And other people may call that manifestation. Someone else might call it karma. Someone else might call it a prayer. And it's all a thing. It's all a belief. And it's something that we're close to understanding, but we're on the tip of the iceberg, if I'm honest. And one day, maybe hundreds of years in the future, scientists might know what all this means. But for now, we don't. We just know it is. And that's what spirituality is, and energy and magic and all these things, and religion and everything. It just is. So, no matter what path you're on, once you're opening up, you're starting to notice these things. And you're starting to notice energies of different people and things, and you get impacted more. I know I do. If I am around someone, it happened to me just yesterday at time of recording. I saw one of my family members who's going through a hard time, And he brought me down. He wasn't nasty to me. We didn't argue. There wasn't any cross words or anything like that. But his energy, oh my word, it was so heavy. It was like a black cloud. This can happen, whether it's your co-workers or your friends, your family, whoever. If you're in a job, like your normal mundane job, I've had to go through this where, you're working a soulless job, you're working in customer service or something, you're getting shouted at, you're taking on that person's energy who's shouting at you. You never know. You just, there's energy everywhere. It's draining as hell. It really is. And then your energy, giving it out by accident, that's draining. There's so many factors to take into account. And you don't necessarily have to be a witch, to have this experience. You could just be a spiritual person. But once you start to realise this, damn, it can take a toll on you, and it can take a toll on your mental health. I do say all the time, there is a fine line between spirituality and mental health. Because when you start opening up and questioning, it can drive you cuckoo. It really can. So you've got to keep a level of groundedness. You have to, for your own sake, for your own sanity. You've got to. Now, that could literally mean going out in nature, taking a barefoot walk on the grass or hugging a tree. As cheesy as that sounds, it could mean that. But it doesn't always mean that. Sometimes you might not be able to do that. You might live in the middle of a city. I mean, living in a city, again, all them energies, the hustle and bustle, that's draining. You might not be able to do that. So there are things and ways out there that you can stay grounded. You can practice things like mindfulness. Meditation helps for some people, but not everyone. I know it doesn't help for everyone. Even though it's a spiritual thing, not everyone can switch their mind off. It's hard. For me, personally, I sometimes have to take a step back. Now, touch wood, it hasn't been happening all that often recently, but there's times in the past I've gotten so overwhelmed. I've took a break from my whole practice, from my whole spiritual everything for a couple of weeks. I might just be thinking of muggle things, There's things I enjoy outside of this, I enjoy gaming. I never get the chance to. Sorry, I've got a piece of fluff stuck on my face. I never get the chance to game as much as I used to. But I do enjoy gaming. And when Cyberpunk came out, I was obsessed with that for weeks. Sometimes I get sucked into a game. Now, if you're sucked into something like that, you're not thinking of anything spiritually. You're not even realising it. You're back in a muggle mindset because you're lost in a fantasy world. It's escapism. You're not realising that. So it's distracting your mind. Now, to some people, that could be reading a book. To some people, that could be, drawing a picture. Some people like to illustrate, things like that. I personally enjoy that too, but because I've got a repetitive strain in my arm, it flares up, if I do it too much. There's all sorts of different things that we can get into to ground ourselves, per se, to switch off. And that's the ultimate way that I protect myself, is to switch off. You've just got to. Sometimes you've got to stop questioning. You've got to stop doing all the spiritual stuff and just switch off for a bit and get into something else, whatever that may be. It could even be something a bit less fun. If you've got to, do a clear out of your house or decorate or something like that, or just something that distracts your brain. It's a psychology technique to distract your brain. That's why those colouring books and things like that are so popular, because it distracts people. It's a distraction. Sometimes we need that. Now, there's a balance. I've said sometimes I may take a couple of weeks, but I know it's not going to be forever, because we can't distract ourselves from the harsh reality of life, sadly. Spiritual or not, the world keeps turning. We've got to keep going on, moving on. So it's about doing things in healthy doses and recognising within yourself, oh, okay, bit overwhelmed here, take a step back. It doesn't have to be for as long as 2 weeks. It could be a night, a day, a few hours, right? Okay, switch off time. That's the way I see it. Now, aside from switching off, there are other ways you can protect yourself when you're just out and about. Things like veiling. You could wear a head covering. There's one of my hats there right now. Bandana, a headscarf. Some people don't veil like that. Some people wear a hair accessory, or they may plait their hair or do a certain hairstyle. Even your makeup, what you wear, is kind of like a suit of armour in a way. And you could go so deep as to draw runes and then blend it out, or sigils or whatever. If you're a witch and into magic, you could use colour magic to your advantage as well. The outfit you wear as well can be a bit like a costume, I suppose. When you get dressed up all nice, it's like putting on a persona. So you could use that in your everyday life, putting on a persona. Right now I am business Sarah. Okay, I'm in business, so I'm going to wear a suit. I don't know. All right, I am witchy Sarah, so I'm going to wear a witch hat. I don't know. That's off the top of my head, or something more gothic. Oh, I'm casual Sarah. I'm just going to wear a jumper. It all affects our energy and our moods. So that's how I control things, Now, I can pick up on other people's energies, but I don't know how else to explain it other than it's a switch. And I have to go, right, off time. Now, it's hard. Not everyone can just do that. And it's took me years to do that. What I would say is to try and distract yourself. So say you're in a situation. This is an example. Say you're in a situation, say you're with a work colleague, and even though you're at work and it's, it's muggle, it's boring, it's stressful or whatever, you're picking up on their negativity, on their negative energy. So what can you do about that? You're taking on their bad vibes. So what can you do? So you're focusing on your job, first and foremost. Now, if that isn't enough, try and think of some things that you really love. That's what I'd say. Now, for me, I really love Hecate. I really love my spirits, my deities. If you are someone like me working with deities, you could call on them. You could call on your spirit guides to protect you. Sometimes I call on literally Hecate, but sometimes it might just be, I don't know, I'm distracting myself with something I'm going to enjoy later. Say I am into Cyberpunk the game, right, I'm thinking, okay, next time I'm on there, what's my next level on this game? What's the next thing I'm going to do? All right. Oh, I like makeup. Okay, so someone's nagging at me. Okay, so what makeup could I wear tomorrow? Oh, I could wear this lipstick with that. And, it's just distracting yourself with something a bit more enjoyable. If you can't think of something like that off the top of your head, and this is, I suppose, a psychology advice, but it does help switch off your energy. Distract yourself, list some things in your mind. So this helps me fall asleep sometimes, so be careful, don't fall asleep. But I go through the alphabet sometimes and think, right, let's list, I don't know, animals. So A, we've got an African bullfrog. B, we've got a buffalo. C, we've got a cat. D, a dolphin, and so on. I'm not going to go through it. You could be listing things like that. It gets you thinking of, right, even there on the spot, I was thinking, oh my God, I can't think of an animal beginning with A. African bullfrog, where's that came from? Like, okay. It's distraction techniques. It's, again, this fine line between mental health and spirituality. It really is a fine line, because our energy, our third eye, it's all in our brain. It's all in our crown chakra, and that all links together. It really does. And that's how I protect myself as best I can. Apart from, protection spells and other things, which is something else entirely. And I'm not giving away all my trade secrets. But yeah, I hope this has answered the question and helped and maybe gave you some ideas. answered as best I could. So yeah, I hope it helped. If you've got any other questions, let me know. Feel free, put them in the comments below. And until next time, stay safe, stay witchy. Bye.